Today's New Year, Chinese New Year.
History lecture.
They're all about sharing good, delicious dumplings.
Introduction: The Sound of the New Year. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another exciting episode of our English Learning Podcast. I'm Emily, your co-host and language coach.
And I'm Paul. Hi, Emily. Hello to all our wonderful listeners out there. Wow, let me tell you, I am so incredibly excited today. My energy is through the roof. Hey, Emily, do you hear that crazy noise coming from right outside the studio window? Pop, 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 bang!
I definitely hear it, Paul. It's been going on all morning, and I absolutely love it. Those are firecrackers, Paul, and you know what that means. It means the Chinese New Year is officially here. The year of celebration has begun.
Yes, it is finally that time of the year. It is beautiful, it is loud, and it is full of joy. But honestly, Emily, every single year around this time, I run into a bit of a problem. My foreign friends and international colleagues always ask me so many questions about what we are doing. They see the decorations, they hear the noise, and they get so curious. I really want to tell them all about our beautiful traditions, but my English is, well, I get nervous and my mind goes completely blank.
Oh, don't worry at all, Paul. You are definitely not alone in this. A lot of our listeners feel exactly the same way when they try to explain cultural traditions in a second language. But guess what? Today, we are going to fix that. We're going to learn exactly how to explain everything from terrifying ancient monsters to delicious lucky dumplings using very simple English that anyone can understand.
That sounds absolutely perfect for me. Just to be clear, Emily, no big difficult words, no complicated vocabulary from the dictionary?
Promise. No big words, no heavy grammar. Just clear, practical survival English that gets the message across beautifully. Let's start right from the beginning with the legendary story of why everything during this holiday is so incredibly red and so incredibly loud. Let's dive in.
Part 1. Legends and Firecrackers.
Okay, Paul, let's take a trip back in time. Long ago, people in China were deeply afraid of a terrible, scary monster that would come down from the mountains once a year. Do you remember his name?
Oh, of course I do. Every kid grows up hearing this story. His name was Nian. That's spelled Nian.
Right. It just means year. Now let's practice a very easy sentence that our listeners can use to share this story with their foreign friends. Repeat after me, Paul. There was a monster named Nian.
There was a monster named Nian.
Excellent. Now it's your turn, dear listeners. Let's practice saying this out loud together. Fantastic job! Now let's move the story forward. This monster, Nian, was very big and very dangerous, but he wasn't perfect. He was actually secretly scared of two specific things. First, he absolutely hated the color red. It terrified him.
Oh, that's right. And the second thing he hated was loud noises. It made his ears hurt and made him run away in fear.
Exactly. You nailed it, Paul. And that is the exact historical reason why we use firecrackers today. Let's spell that word because it can look a bit long. Firecrackers. It's actually just two simple words put together, fire and crackers. Paul, let's say that word slowly and clearly for everyone.
Firecrackers. Firecrackers.
Wonderful. Let's give our listeners a chance to try this compound word. So, imagine you were standing outside with your international friends and they jump because a firecracker goes off. They ask you, why are these firecrackers so incredibly loud? You can look at them, smile, and say, we use firecrackers to scare away the monster.
Oh, wow, that is so simple. Let me try that. We use firecrackers to scare away the monster. That is a truly great phrase to know, Emily. Scare away. It means to make something run away because it is afraid, right?
Spot on, Paul. Scare away is a fantastic phrasal verb to use. Now let's expand that thought just a little bit to make it sound even more natural. We can talk about both the red decorations and the noise. Let's practice this whole thought together. We use red decorations and loud noises to scare away bad luck.
Okay, let me practice that. I want to make sure I get it right. We use red decorations and loud noises to scare away bad luck.
That was beautiful, Paul. Now, for all our listeners at home, in the car, or walking down the street, let's practice this complete sentence 3 times to build up your muscle memory. Ready? Go.
Part 2. The reunion dinner and food.
Ah, listen to those sounds. Emily, we're moving on to my favorite topic. The most important part of the entire holiday for me and for my stomach is definitely the reunion dinner on New Year's Eve. Oh, I completely agree. The food is amazing, but the meaning behind it is even better. Reunion is such a beautiful word, isn't it? Let's spell it out. Reunion. It simply means a time when family members who live far away all come back to the same place.
Yes, coming home. You know, last year I invited my American friend to join my family dinner. We had a huge feast, but at the end of the night, he looked at the dining table, saw the fish, and looked very confused. He asked me, "Paul, the fish looks delicious, but why didn't anyone finish it? Why is there still a big piece left?"
That is such a classic cultural misunderstanding. In our culture, we have many sounds-like words, which we call homophones. We love using food that sounds like good things. Paul, how do you usually try to explain the phrase 年年有余 to someone who doesn't speak Chinese?
Oh, it's a nightmare, Emily. I tried to look it up, and the dictionary said, "May you have an abundance or a financial surplus every year." Surplus? Abundance? I can't say those words smoothly. It's way too hard for a casual dinner conversation.
Please, don't ever say surplus at a dinner party. It sounds like an economics textbook. Keep it simple. Just say this instead. Fish sounds like more money.
Wait, really? Just fish sounds like more money? Oh my goodness, that is so incredibly easy. Why didn't I think of that?
It really is that simple. Let's let our listeners practice this easy shortcut. See? Now your friend will instantly understand the connection. And what about another holiday favorite, Paul? What do you say about dumplings? Let's spell it first. Dumplings.
For dumplings, I like to explain what they look like. I always tell my friends, dumplings look like gold money from ancient times.
Perfect. That paints a visual picture in their minds. They eat the dumpling and they think of wealth. And what about the sweet rice cake or niangao? How do you explain that one?
Well, niangao sounds like getting higher, right? So I tell them it means getting higher or getting better every single year, like getting a promotion at work or getting better grades in school.
Look at you, Paul. You are doing an amazing job. Let's create a quick, handy food guide list for our listeners so they can memorize these associations quickly. I'll say the food and you say the simple English meaning. Ready? I'll say fish, you say more money. Fish,
More money.
dumplings,
Gold.
rice cake.
Getting better. Let me put one of those into a full sentence to show how it works. We eat fish to have more than enough next year.
That is a wonderful sentence, Paul. Clear, accurate, and easy. Listeners, let's take a moment to practice this entire food list out loud so you can use it at your next dinner party. Part 3. Spring couplets and red envelopes.
Moving on to decorations, Emily. Just this morning, I was outside pasting the red paper, the spring couplets, on my front door. My Canadian neighbor walked past and stopped. He looked closely and asked, "Hey, Paul, why is that Chinese character written on the square red paper pasted completely upside down? Did you make a mistake?"
Upside down. That is a great vocabulary phrase for our listeners. Let's spell it. Upsidedown. It just means the top part is now at the bottom and the bottom is at the top. So, Paul, how did you explain it to your neighbor?
Well, the character on the paper is fu, which means luck or good fortune. I wanted to tell him that when it's upside down, it means luck is arriving at my door.
Right, and the Chinese word for upside down sounds exactly like the word for to arrive. So to explain this wordplay without getting stuck, you can simply say, Upside down sounds like coming in my language.
Upside down sounds like coming. Oh, I see. And then right after that, I can follow up and say, so it means luck is coming to my house.
Wow, Paul, that is incredibly clear and very elegant. No complex linguistic theories needed. Now, let's talk about something that everyone, literally everyone, loves during the Chinese New Year: red envelopes.
Oh, you know it. Red envelopes are the best. Personally, I love giving them to show my love, but if I'm being completely honest, I love getting them filled with cash even more.
Don't we all? But there is a very important cultural rule for the physical action of giving and receiving these envelopes. Paul, what do you always tell your children when they are about to receive a red envelope from their grandparents?
I always stop them and say, hold on, use two hands.
Yes, that is a crucial rule. And if a foreigner asks why you must use both hands instead of just one hand, what is the simple reason?
I tell them because two hands mean respect. Let's spell that important word. R-E-S-P-E-C-T, respect.
Exactly. It shows that you value the other person and the gift. Let's practice making this into a polite rule sentence. Always use two hands to give or receive a red envelope.
Let me try that. Always use two hands to give a red envelope. It sounds polite and very natural.
Perfect. Let's let our listeners practice the sentence to make sure they can share this cultural etiquette tip with confidence. Part 4. Taboos and Greetings.
Now, Emily, let's talk about things that can go wrong. A few years ago, I had a funny but stressful problem. An American friend came over to visit my house on New Year's Day. He noticed some dust on the floor, found my broom, and actually started to sweep the floor to help me out. I panicked and literally screamed, "No, stop, put the broom down."
Oh, poor guy. He was just trying to be a helpful and polite house guest. But you, on the other hand, were worried about the traditional taboos. Let's spell that word for our listeners. Taboos. Taboos are things that a culture or religion says you should not do because they might bring bad luck or are inappropriate.
Exactly. I felt so bad for screaming at him. How on earth can I explain to a foreigner why sweeping the floor on New Year's Day is a bad thing?
It's all about imagery. You can use the phrasal verb sweep away. Just tell your friend, don't sweep the floor today. You might sweep away the good luck for the whole year.
Ah, sweep away. So don't sweep, you might sweep away the luck. That makes total sense. It's like you're physically pushing the good luck out of the front door. Okay, I'm definitely going to memorize that phrase so I can explain it calmly next time instead of just screaming no.
Yes, that will definitely keep your friends calmer. Now, besides avoiding taboos, we also want to focus on positive things. We only say happy things during the new year, which is why we have so many special greetings and blessings.
Yes, blessings are everywhere. My absolute favorite one is, of course, the one about making lots of money. Gong Xi Fa Cai.
A classic. In English, if you want to sound a bit more sophisticated, you can say, may you get wealthy. Wealthy means having a lot of money and success. But honestly, if that feels too formal, just saying Happy New Year is always the easiest and most welcome greeting. Now, Paul, what about a blessing for our health, especially for the elders?
For health, I like to say, wishing you good health.
That is short, sweet, and perfect. Let's repeat that particular phrase 3 times together with our listeners to make sure we have it down. Wishing you good health.
And what if I want to say something nice that covers my friend's entire family?
You can save this beautiful phrase. May your whole family be happy.
May your whole family be happy. Wow, I love that one. It feels very kind, very warm, and it's so easy to remember.
Review and farewell. Well, Paul, we have covered a massive amount of culture and language today. Time flies when you're having fun. Let's do a quick final review of our big 5 key words and concepts so our listeners can lock them into their brains. Number 1, firecrackers. We use them to scare away monsters and bad luck. Number 2, reunion dinner, a special time when the family comes back together. Number 3,
Upside down. The lucky word is upside down because it sounds like coming. Number 4, two hands. Always use two hands because it means respect. Number 5, sweep away. Don't sweep the floor or you might sweep away your good luck.
Wow, Emily. Looking at this list, I feel so much better and way more confident. I realize now that I don't need to be a professional translator or poet to talk about my culture. I just need these short, simple sentences to share my joy and traditions.
Exactly, Paul. You hit the nail on the head. Your foreign friends don't want a long, boring history lecture. They just want to understand your life and celebrate this beautiful festival right alongside you.
Thank you so much, Emily. This was incredibly helpful. And to all our wonderful listeners out there, Happy Chinese New Year to you and your loved ones.
Happy New Year, everyone. Keep practicing your English every day. Go out and challenge yourself to tell just one foreign friend today about the ancient neon monster.
You can do it. See you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Bye. See you in the next episode.